Hi, David Erdos back with a new poem. Anyone who watches any of these YouTube pieces may remember that the second week of February is a particularly difficult one for me, as it marks the anniversaries and birthdays of people I was close to, and also the anniversary of my parents' deaths, who died on the same day, the 11th of February. I'm posting this a little before, as I never know how I will be on that day. The poem is a tribute to them, in which I try to express and speak about the complications of their own relationship and failing marriage, and the legacy of that in terms of a correlation with my own situation. It's therefore brutally honest, brave, possibly foolish, but it is offered in love. The Bachelor's Promise. I have never felt more alone, and I am a man who knows how to be lonely. The Bachelor's Promise, one kept like a vow, reveals this, that if the woman is lost or does not come along, you continue, seeking home within heartache, with or without her soft kiss. Equally, death is divorce in its most basic sense. We all know it. And this is how it was with my parents, who when I was 15 split apart to be bound by the need to live on, despite the connection between them. From meeting as neighbours in 1960 to his driving away from our house in 1985, this was the timeline of their falling graph and shared chart. So while I now have no one, I still consider their marriage, ruinous as it was on one level, while romantically linked on the next, as they both died today, my dad in 1994 and my mother in 2012. In her house now, I am at least trying, while being at best circumspect. The end of my line, as I have no children. I failed to make a Jewish grandmother, having had two lovely ones of my own, perhaps because of circumstance, yes, but also through some strange aspect of me, clearly lacking, which has meant that no girlfriend or no previous lover of mine seeks my stone. For are we not all on a beach, each one of us sand-sourced pebbles, awaiting fate's ocean to carry us off or to clean the stains of the shore, such as the guilt and grime we've collected, that awful pollution of distance, in which the touch of those once held closely will become part of the soon spurned prick's sad machine. That sounds base. It is not. For let us be clear, lost lovers subsume to become another part of your body. And if one's parents judge while still watching over, then the immaturity of it and the deep-set need is a child's who is calling for love, as physiognomy fuels him, propelling him through lost landscapes while staying at home, running wild. As I have been all these years, unmoored, hungry, searching, not for my parents' replacement, or even, of course, for my ex who is alive or is not. I will never be told. Complicated, and fused from the very same feelings which kept my mum and dad so perplexed. I will never forget my mum's face at my father's funeral service. She looked so bewildered, as if there were a hole at her side. I hold that hole now, and entered it at her service. I have never left. Does that stop me find the woman I want? The wound's wide. But it can't be the cause. Perhaps some past mistake bars me. And that is why, in this poem of personal loss, I am frank. We all put up walls. Well, some of us live in the rubble. And there is as much glory in wanting as there is an absence of shame in the wank. At least in this case. Ejaculate is just the secret tears of the body. And while for most it makes children, for me it is my own wedding gift. I give it now to the girl I have always loved, warmed and wasted, Alone again in my marriage, it is the spent matter through which every confessor must sift. For we all lose so much, and yet we keep going. Whether further apart or together, what we give is the glue which repairs the shattered pattern within, as evidenced by this death day. And I am partly persuaded and joke that I may share my own one with theirs. After all, we're all alone at that point. But what will we know? That's the question. Surely that once we had the chance of love, and that it lasted, of course, for some time. It is there in Eden Arbez's beautiful song, as sung by Nat King Cole. Do you know it? Nature Boy is the title, and it contains the credo that many will have, and was mine. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. My parents had that. They died today. Now they're living. If just in this poem, see tears corrupted tissues as flowers. They are the flags of loss flying. And so, as you touch them, you can feel skin and sadness and the lifting of love as it burns. David Erdos, February the 9th, 10th and 11th, 2023.